Want to be at the forefront of the action, securing the most first bloods or high impact kills? Well, look no further. What's going on, ProGuides family? My name is Renox, and today I'm excited to share with you our 10 insane tips for when you play Phoenix. We want you guys to be better equipped to get more value out of his flash, wall, molly, and ultimate. That being said, let's get straight into the video.
Phoenix is an agent that works well on pretty much any map. However, I do believe that his best two maps are Haven and Bind. With that in mind, most of these tips will be tailored towards keeping those two maps in mind. The biggest tip that I can give to any of you aspiring Phoenix mains out there is to try and use both of his flashes each round, particularly if you're trying to peek areas of the map that players would be holding or watching. This is a very common mistake that I see a lot of inexperienced players do. They are too greedy with their flashes and hold on to them far too much. You don't want to get into a gunfight before using your flashes unless you have a really good read that you don't need to. Ideally, you want to condition your enemies to fear your flashes first, and then you can start thinking about holding on to them. Essentially, look to push your enemies back with flashes or make them scared to contest areas that you are playing. Once you've established this type of pressure, you open up you and your teammates for more proactive plays. Before we get into the rest of the guide, we have our question of the day. Do you guys enjoy how the movement corresponds with the gun accuracy at the current moment? Personally, I feel like it's far too easy to land accurate shots even while sprinting. I hope they make it more like Counter-Strike instead, as it's not really fun to die this way. On top of Peeker's advantage in ping latency, this mechanic can feel really unforgiving, and I hope it gets some tweaking soon. However, let us know what your thoughts are on this matter. Let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let's keep it simple. Phoenix's flash is his bread and butter utility. Being super comfortable using it is the single most important thing to understand when learning to master this agent. Without his flash, he's not able to take fights dry and run away for free like Jett or Reyna. This is important to understand if you're holding on to his flashes. It's very difficult to beat out the other duelists. This type of habit needs to be broken if it's something you're doing. Otherwise, I would suggest playing one of the other duelists that has mobility in their kit. With that in mind, one of the best ways to flash is by flashing around walls and other terrain. Another way is by flashing over terrain, as it's even better. The reason behind this is that it can often cover more areas and it's harder to react to. So if you can mix up your flashes from over boxes and around boxes, you can really throw your enemies for a loop. One of my favorite spots to flash like this is on Haven A short. Flashing over this box can be quite annoying, and it will cover both the deep corners that players love to play. I can't stress this enough, don't be afraid to use two flashes, especially if you're not entirely sure where the enemies might be playing. I would suggest that you start with two early in the game and condition your opponents to that. This way, they will be scared of two flashes and will have lower incentive to contest your flashes. Lastly, if you want to become an expert with his flash, try your best to let your flashes pop at the very edge of its hitbox. The less that it flies out, the harder it is to react to the flash. If you watch some of the best Phoenixes play, they actively try to minimize this mechanic because it makes your flashes so much more effective. Phoenix's wall is one of the most underutilized utility pieces in his kit, and for good reason, as it's hard to use properly. One of the easiest ways to tell if a Phoenix player is great is by how they utilize their flame wall. Most Phoenix players ignore this ability and primarily use it to heal. If I can help you guys understand how to use his wall and molly not just for self-healing, you will walk away from this video a much stronger player. First, I want to talk about how great it is at cutting up portions of the map, which can allow you to flash through the wall or use it to take space while it blocks vision. Let's quickly look at how you can do this on A and B site bind, and the potential it has to secure kills and potentially help your team secure the site. First, you want to place your wall vertically here. It will cut off the garage and log sightline, which will help you clear the site easier from the left side. On the flip side, using it to cut off the left part of A site can help focus your team on the right corner to clear instead of both. You can also flash through either of these walls and kill any enemies waiting for the wall to fade. Besides using your wall to cut up bomb sites to make your job entering easier, you can use that same type of value when playing defensively. Phoenix's wall is actually better at halting aggression because unlike Viper's wall, it is much scarier to go through. If you've ever tried running through a Phoenix firewall to duel another player, let's just say you take quite a bit of damage and your vision is impaired as you exit. I can't tell you how many times I've seen enemies make this mistake. Push through my wall and give me a free kill. A neat little trick you can do on the defensive side is firewall choke points and either play close to it or fake out your enemies by playing far away from it. You can also do aggressive Phoenix walls early, which can delay pushes and give you the opportunity to make plays. It's all about mixing things up. You want your opponents to be wary of things that you could be doing around your flame walls, but not exactly sure. Lastly, you can also use his wall to block off enemy vision while you cross areas of the map. A good example of this is on A main Haven and A short bind. Walling off these large areas can be great if you're trying to cross without being seen. Obviously, they would know that you could cross over, but if you mix up you crossing over and not, you will make it hard for the enemy to predict what exactly you will be doing. The goal is no matter what utility you're using on Phoenix, you want the enemies not only to be afraid of it, but also not know exactly what could happen around it. Everyone is well aware that Phoenix's Molly can be used to heal himself after he's taken damage, but there is so much more to his Molly, and the best Phoenixes out there know how to get more value out of it than just using it as a self-heal piece of utility. Just like any other Molly in Valorant, it is great at halting aggression or flushing an enemy into a pesky spot. Additionally, because it comes back after securing 2 kills, you can be rest assured that you may get multiple chances to use it in a single given round. On the defensive side, look to use your Molly to help contest orb choke points. If you're able to halt aggression or lock down any of the orbs on the map, not only will you open yourself to securing the orb and farming your ultimate, but you could also help your team secure a vital piece of information. Most of the time, you'll even be able to molly off the choke point before the enemies can even peek you. This can give you time to creep up and flash, hold back, or fall back and hold the angle. By mixing your behavior but keeping the molly consistent, you will keep the enemy guessing and make it much harder for them to fight you properly. Another tip for using Phoenix's molly is by using it as a self-heal, but doubling it down to stop aggressive pushes. If you've just finished killing someone and there could be more enemies close by, throwing a molly in a corner and healing there can make you an easy target to isolate and kill. This is where you want to double down your molly to self-heal and potentially block off the choke. It doesn't have to be perfect, but if you make it look like there's a molly blocking off an area, they are much less likely to try and push through it and finish you off. It also sets you up to be in a position to potentially flash around corners and such. Other than those situations, when you are on the attacking side, help your team more often when taking sites by mollying corners or spots that are hard to clear. An example of this is on B bind cubby or even container. If you can use your molly to cut off these spots, it will make it much easier to take site. Being proactive with your molly instead of only using it to heal after you've taken damage will help you win many more rounds. Especially in a game where it only takes 1 shot to kill. The difference between 60 HP and 100 HP can be pretty minimal. I've talked about Phoenix's ultimate a few times in the past, mainly how strong it is simply due to it being a 6-charge ultimate. What this means is that if you're doing well on this agent, you will have a lot of impact just from using his ultimate alone. The fact that he is allowed to run in and not die makes it extremely strong at opening space in the map and helping to secure first bloods. Just like his flashes, Phoenix's ult should be treated with little regard to its quantity. Even if you don't secure any kills with it, you'll get very pertinent info on where players may or may not be playing. The 2 key concepts to remember is to use your ultimate outside of direct vision or close proximity to enemy players. You don't want to risk dying in your ult and having them close enough to capitalize on the ending lag animation of that ultimate. The last thing to keep in mind with his ult is that it brings you to 100 HP. This is where high-level Phoenix players will recognize to use their ultimate instead of blowing their firewall and molly to heal. This might seem like a minor detail, but having those 2 pieces of utility open for other means of use can drastically change the outcome of a round and ultimately an entire game. So if you need to heal but have your ultimate, use it in a safe spot before using your molly or wall. And now you can use those 2 abilities to help clear spots or let you push more freely.
Well guys, I hope that this video shed a better light on what you can possibly do with Phoenix's utility kit. Without a doubt, one of the best entry agents in the game who's also extremely versatile. Well, that's all that we have for this video. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Make sure to hit that bell notification to ensure that you stay up to date with our videos and ahead of the competition. If you want further help, feel free to check out our website, ProGuides.com, for the best on-demand coaching. Our coaches are among the very best, and we hope you check them out if you enjoyed the video. Well guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next one.